Hey y'all, it is Sunday afternoon. We're just getting back in from the East Coast. We went over for church today and I'm hearing some thunder rolling out here. I've got a really busy day tomorrow. I've got to do a little bit of traveling for work, so I decided I'd go ahead and record the Tuesday tally today. I've done quite a bit in the garage. I got a lot of stuff cleaned up. I don't know if you can see behind me, but there's stuff is gone. A lot of stuff going to bulk pickup this week, and I reorganized. So let me just go ahead and show you guys what's going on over here. Jump right into it before I get struck by lightning trying to record out here in the yard. So I've got my workspace all cleaned up over here. We've got space. We can get to the water heater now. We can get to the electrical panel. And I'm starting to set up for fall so that everything's ready to go. We've got all the seedlings started. Everything so far is looking pretty good. The tomatoes were a little bit spindly because I couldn't get the lighting proper in here, but they seem to be recovering pretty well. I will repot these again and drop them in a little bit deeper to try to straighten up some of the stems. But we've got some brassicas coming along. They should start pushing out the true leaves in the next week or so. A couple things had to be reseeded because they did not germinate. And let me just walk you around. And show you some of these others that we got. Lots of flower seedlings, pepper seedlings. I did go ahead and add a layer of vermiculite on top of just about everything. The things that I had to reseed, I did not add the vermiculite. I just want to give those a chance to come up. Things are starting to come up in this Mr. Stacky. Don't know if you can see, but we've got lots of herbs that are coming up here. And the other one is seeded pretty much the same way. Got a couple of pots down here that have not germinated yet. And then we got a couple of small pots here that have started. I've got to figure out what I'm going to do with this Dollar Tree stackable. That is a chive that I pulled out to pot for my best friend, and I keep forgetting to take it and give it to her at church. So I need to get that done. Got a couple of sweet potato plants down here that just didn't have a home. This tower of sweet potatoes and peas is coming along. These were put into the green stalk pretty early, so they are starting to get to the end of their life. But unfortunately, the peas have not started to produce yet. So I'm just kind of hanging on and waiting for that to happen before I really do anything there. This is a pepper, and I think it's really, really pretty. I just wanted to show you the variegation on it. There are some weeds down here that need to come out. And then these peppers are starting to put on some fruit. I still have not gotten around to taking out this okra. It has given me a few more pods, so I've taken them. Let's see, let's do a quick walk around. I ran drip to the two green stalks that are in this bed. There's one here, and then the other one is tucked in just behind that beautyberry over there. So I've got the drip run to those, and it is working well. I dropped in one of the raised beds here that will be for cucumbers. It's not going to be for cucumbers. What am I talking about? Mushrooms. I've got a spider who has decided to run a web, and let me see if I can get him. Can you guys see him right there? So he's decided to drop a web right across my workspace walkway here. And so I'm not going to disturb his web because the rain is coming. I don't want him to have to work so hard. So I'll just kind of show you through here. But I set up 2 beds there for mushrooms. There is one more behind the triangle ficus there. And then on the other side of the green stalk, there is one there. Now I do have one more of those raised beds for mushrooms. I'm just not quite sure where I'm going to put it yet. But that's okay because I don't have all of the mushroom spawn to put into them just yet. Anyway, I've got some spiders running a web from the beautyberry over to the Red Ripper peas, which have started to produce. So I'm really happy about that. We'll start getting some Red Rippers here soon, but I'm not going to spin the green stalk because the poor spiders. We've got still all these weeds that need to get pulled. This green stalk is struggling, but it's okay because the only thing I'm really waiting for out of it are the sweet potatoes, and that is the Covington sweet potato that will be coming from this green stalk. Everything else is going to be pulled out and either replanted somewhere else or thrown away. There are a couple of cowpeas that are planted in here, but like I told you guys last week, I don't remember which ones. Now, that flower that we looked at last week is now an okra, and we've got a new flower and a couple more coming on. I'm not going to bother that okra today. I'll let it get a little bit bigger. I sent my husband out to harvest a couple, and he came back in and said, I want them bigger. So I'm going to leave that. This sweet potato vine is an ornamental. You guys know that has been growing here for a couple of years. It's been snatched out by a few hurricanes and has been put back in to do its thing. Let's see how fast can I do this. I still need to pull out those tomatoes. We've got more flowers back here on the Trichoglottis. This thing seems to always be in bloom, and I'm here for it. I love it. I didn't do much cleanup on this side. Kind of got to the end and stopped. So this side is the normal mess that it always is. And I thought I was going to be able to get to some of that this afternoon, but the weather says otherwise. Now, what I can tell you is that I'm going to turn off the camera and go inside, and as soon as I go inside, it's gonna stop thundering and all of that. So hi bunny. Okay, so I sent my husband out here to pick the okra from this plant yesterday. Sorry about my hand. And I sent him out and I said that okra needs to come off. And he says, nope, it's not big enough. This okra is big enough to come off. It is as long as my middle finger. And he said, no, I want to let it get bigger. So he's got 2, and I'm going to leave them on there until tomorrow. And I'll take them off probably with that other one. And I do know that I've got a couple Jing orange in the front that I can take off. And I'll just take them off tomorrow after we get back from seeing my client. I'm going to go ahead and give the pink eye peas a spin. I have been harvesting from these. I did harvest some yesterday, so it'll be a couple days before I can harvest any more. This sweet potato jungle gets bigger and bigger every week, and I've got a couple of plants that are dying back over here. These cowpeas are the Bisbee Black cowpeas, and you see those are coming in good. We've got the other, let me give that a little bit of a spin if I can. I can't spin it, so I'm gonna have to go this way to get some light differences. I've got a combination of the sweet potatoes holding on there and also the bougainvillea. The raindrops are coming. Let's see how fast I can do this. It sounds like my husband has the weed whacker out. I'll get to this section hopefully next week. I'm hoping that I won't have an overly busy week and I can get to that. Yes, he's out here with the weed whacker, y'all. I told him we weren't gonna have time because of the storm coming, and he wanted to prove me wrong. And so, hey, thanks for the help. I appreciate it. I did a little bit of weed whacking yesterday here to clean these things up. I am gonna go ahead and pull out the verbena because they are starting to look a little scraggly. I'm not liking that. And just did a little cleanup here. Still need to get these clerodendrons out, and I will do that because I need to get the jasmines that I purchased for that area put in. I cleared out my walk path a bit. I do need to go ahead and do some cleanup here so that I can get some light back there into my hydrangea. You waiting on me to go by or what? Are you waiting on me to go by? Alright, so I've got to come back. He can't weed whack here because I've got some salvias and things in here that I need to hand weed around. I went ahead and I removed the rest of the kales that were in this container. And I started setting up the new green stalk. The one from the front driveway, as you can see, I left the level out here, has been relocated to this spot. These Murasaki sweet potato vines are doing their thing. Those I think still have another month and a half before harvest time. So yeah, I disassembled the container that the Mr. Stackies were standing on so that I could put the green stalk there, and this is what's left of it. I will reuse those two containers. I did go ahead and give some water to our struggling bunching onions that are here. Y'all, the Beauregard sweet potatoes, and I'm not sure, there may be a couple of the Orleans that are also escaping here, but most of these are Beauregards that are quite honestly bogarting their way out of the greenhouse. The ones here are most likely the Orleans, because the Orleans are pretty much planted in this raised bed, and the Beauregards are in the side bed, and also two that abut that bed. So there's 10 Beauregards in there, and the rest are Orleans. And I think there may be one Georgia Jet that survived in there, but if I remember properly, all the Georgia Jets died in there. This sweet potato is actually an ornamental sweet potato, but I'm going to have to get that vine tamed, or I'm going to have sweet potatoes growing there. I still need to get some trimming going on out here. I'm getting wet. I'm getting rained on. But until it's a hard rain, I'm not going to take off running. I need to do a lot of trimming and cleaning up here in this area. I've got lots of Tabasco peppers that are going to be ready soon. I am just waiting on those to ripen. I still need to clean out this bed, but I did tell my husband I wanted to pull one of these little onions. Now this is a Barletta pickling onion. They did not completely size up. They should get to just about 1/2 inch. It is considered a pearl onion, but I had my son to taste one last week and he told me that onion is very strong. It is a very strong smelling onion. I personally don't like onions, so I'm not going to stick it in my mouth and taste it, but my husband's going to taste it. I'll let you guys know what he says. These are my 3 jasmine that need to be planted in the back. These are Purple Majesty sweet potatoes. The bird bath needs to be emptied. I'll let the rain fill it back up. Everything over here needs to be cleaned up. I'll get to that. In the front is still a ton of weeds, but I am still loving the color that is out here. So if you notice, the further I go back, the less you notice the weeds, and that is one of the saving graces, is that from the street you really don't realize how many weeds are here, but when you walk up close, Lord help me, how am I going to get all these weeds out of here? It's going to take me 2 hours to clean this bed up, but I'll get to it. Let's see what's going on over here. We've got zinnias blooming that are looking great. I'm not really sure what that little, what is that? Little paper there. That looks like it might be something from a phone holder. I'll have to pick that up in a bit. But the zinnias are looking great. And then sweet potatoes and cowpeas. And because this is several different cowpeas, they're going to mature at different rates. And I'm okay with that. The sweet potatoes that we're putting here will put in pretty late. So these will probably be one of the last to come out anyway. So no big deal. Probably won't harvest these until mid-September, early October. And I don't really start putting things out until the end of September anyway. I will be ready to start moving a few things out September 1st. I may start planting beans September 1st. But all in all, it's not going to be a whole lot that's going out September 1st. I did have someone, a viewer, who was asking about the paver stone that I have this green stalk sitting on. This one is a 16-inch paver, and you can see it just fits. It just fits. It's not going to fall off of there. It is, you know, just the perfect size. If you want a little bit more lip, then go with a 20-inch. And I forgot to check while I was in the back. I want to say that the one in the back is on a 20-inch paver, but I'm not sure. It could be just a 16-inch like that. I do use 16-inch pavers, 20-inch pavers, and 24-inch rounds. So y'all, that is it. I am going to end this video here. It is a little bit scary. The sky is turning gray, and I'm sure you can hear the thunder. I don't know if it's picking up on camera, but I think you can. But for now, that is it. I sincerely thank you all, every one of the subscribers. Thank you guys for watching. And of course, thanks for hanging out with me today. And I will see you soon. Bye.